Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum. The Incredibles 2, directed by Brad Bird, came out now officially 8 days ago, so at least I'm not that late this time. I went to go see it literally like last weekend, so that was a lot of fun finally go see after 15 years of waiting. Come on, Brad. Did it really take this long? 15 years? It was worth the wait, though. Oh yeah, and big spoiler alert, Bon Voyage wasn't there. I know, I'm very disappointed too. As I said, it's been 15 years since we've been waiting for this big sequel. I was always a big fan of The Incredibles, always have been, in general, since now, oh my god, now I just realized this is even my first Pixar review. I'm pretty sure I have mentioned this once or twice, or a million times in a lot of my videos where I've reviewed things similar to Pixar. I'm a ginormous Pixar fan. I absolutely love all their movies. I know for a fact I did mention Coco. I remember now. I mentioned literally in my top 10 movies of 2017. So there's something to understand how much I love Pixar. They are, I personally think, some of the greatest animation companies and animators and slash storytellers of anything of all time. That made no sense at all, but I hope you understand what I'm getting at. So this is finally the big sequel, the return of all the lovable cast that we've had that I ironically cannot name any of them in real life, except Samuel Jackson. He's the fucking man, and he's in almost every other movie, so that's an excuse. Despite it being 15 years, literally, like, I think they mentioned a couple of seconds right after the ending of the first one, with the Underminer, I somehow remember that. I'm so proud I did. With all the lovable cast deciding to take down this badass of a super villain with really weird powers. Now that I realize it, why does he want to bring people down there? I don't know, they're super villains, you don't think about that. So fun facts, he's also voiced by Pixar's beloved Lucky Charm, Mr. John Ratzenberger as the Underminer, so that's always fun to see. And then for him to literally like leave a couple of minutes later. Why don't they do that again where he's like a big role like Cam in Toy Story? I've always wanted them to do that again. They just completely threw that off. Come on, Pixar. First you don't bring in Mr. Bon Voyage, and now you take out the Underminer? I've been waiting for this movie for many years, and if I'm gonna be honest, I was 100% satisfied. But I don't think this is better than the first one. Yeah, honestly, I know a lot of people have been freaking out, respectfully so, because it's always in general for me exciting for any Pixar movie that isn't Cars sequels to be coming out. Is always something to look forward to. So in general, I can imagine everybody has the hype blood in them. I was honestly really surprised of all the stuff that they're able to pull off. Once again, everything just as good as the first one, but I think too much like the first one. Really, with this movie that I have to say a lot, that I really had to criticize of anything, it's like I said, the reason it's just as good as the first one, but not better, isn't really because it does anything bad. It's simply that, I think I even said this with Deadpool 2, it really sort of doesn't do much to sort of surprise you. You know, it's kind of even disappointing in some parts. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed by the end of the movie when I honestly felt like things were, not to say too, I don't even want to say cheesy, which is why I'm so worried of speaking about this, because I don't want to make it sound like it's a bad movie in any respects at all. But sometimes almost played it, I guess the right way to say is plays it a little safe, that almost everybody gets a happy ending, everything works out perfectly, and everything works out well, and it almost seems that it works out too well where it almost becomes unbelievable. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say without trying to piss you off, because I know there's a lot of people who are even more diehard than me and are like Star Wars fanboy level of annoying. Which, please understand, I'm being as respectful as possible. I love this movie too. Everything else was pretty goddamn awesome. Oh my god. The characters as usual, the main cast, Dash, Violet, Mrs. Incredible, or Elastigirl, yeah, I know the names, or Mr. Incredible, which, yeah, that's his name anyway, so it works out in the end. And Mr. Frozone, also played by Samuel Jackson. Ironically, why is it still the only one I know? Don't ask. And Edna! She comes back, which is pretty awesome. Oh yeah, Jack, he's pretty cool. Oh yeah, Jack has a big character development throughout this movie. So this is the only spoiler territory I'll go in. Then again, like, this was revealed in the first movie in the first place, so I don't understand why you guys wouldn't be surprised, or surprised at all about this. So we learn more about Jack's new special abilities and what he could possibly do since he's a baby and we haven't seen, you know, through the beginning of the first one that he could have any special powers until the end that we realize, oh my god, he can become a freaking demon baby. So that gets more explored into detail in what happens in this movie, and not to spoil any of it, I'm not going to get into that, just we simply learn about it, and it gets pretty interesting and it becomes a lot of the comedy in this movie that they show that becomes almost hilarious in some of my favorite moments that I swear they're kind of throwing, you know, little jabs or jokes on Marvel. just a little. When you see the movie and you see what I'm talking about, you probably understand. I'm probably, you know, thinking too much into it. I always am. Like I meant, speaking of the comedy, it's actually surprisingly some of the best parts of the movie. I didn't expect myself laughing so much at a freaking poop joke in 2018. Yes, I laughed at a poop joke. You know, all the jokes that you usually expect you not to work actually work out, and it's a pretty fun experience throughout the whole way. And even bringing back the old characters that we saw a long time ago, just to be back in the new big film, surprisingly works out. Nothing is really thrown under the bus, is the way I guess you like to say it. I expected them to do that a lot, since there was a lot of plots that they could have easily just dug under and pretend that never happened, because hey, it's a sequel, everything could start over. But no, everything gets focused on, and even things that I didn't expect at all come back and completely get, you know, finished. They have the end of their story arcs, which is actually really cool and surprising. Also, once again, Michael Giacchino's freaking score. Oh my god, I never thought anybody could ever be as good as John Williams, and like every year as films come by, I realize that like I'm a little more wrong every year, that there's just people waiting to come out and I've just been ignorant to them and completely just rude to them for the last couple of years. I love you. I'm sorry. Your jazz is amazing. Please keep doing it. One more thing, because I just need to point this out, because it's Pixar, it's animation. If I don't mention it, it'd be a disgrace. The animation. Oh my god, like I've already literally seen people go this extreme because of how impressed they are, which I guess is a flattering way, in a weird way, of calling Incredibles 1 a straight up freaking horrendous, ugly piece of animation. Because, oh my god, compared to the old one, this is like, I just saw heaven itself. Wow. I can't believe how much 15 years can really be of a change. Everything, it got so good, to put it in perspective, that I was almost going to put as a complaint in this review that some of the characters almost don't look like themselves at all. But it's only because how much better rendered and better quality they look now. So I literally was almost going to put this into a conclusion until I forgot the most obvious part of what made this movie once again freaking brilliant. The villain. Oh my god. What did you expect? Pixar always knows how to just make their characters well. Pixar is like Marvel, but a little better. It's like, if there's anything you know they're gonna get right, aside from Cars 2, is the characters. Like, that's never something you're gonna fear about in all their movies. They pulled off such a damn well villain that it's literally just... I want to pretend that I'm shocked, but honestly, they've been doing it so goddamn well for, like, once again, aside from freaking Cars 2, for like the last, I'm gonna say 10 years, no, since their beginning, that you can't really, like, pretend that you're surprised anymore. It's just like, it's expected to be that good. Amazing. Once again, I'm not going to go into detail about it because I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say that actually, even though I kind of predicted it throughout, it's not because, you know, it was something that was very obvious coming out. It's because, once again, I'm literally such a big nerd about movies. I watch so many of them that I noticed some of the little tropes of what you call. But even with that, it's still done so well. And I know for a fact people that aren't as big of nerds as me and, you know, just here and then go see a movie that they're interested in will not see this coming at all and will actually be very surprised and have a very satisfying villain to watch. And even how they're able to get their powers and what their values are. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, though, aside from that, before I go any more into detail about this, with all that I've just said, even at its worst, Incredibles 2 still manages to be a fantastic sequel, literally living up to our expectations in every single way of being a successful story with the characters we love and have always lived till the end of time. I know that made no sense, but that I hope shows how much we love these freaking characters and so happy to see them back again and to be amazingly well done and satisfying. Even to bring a bit of surprises around the story that could still be making it more satisfying and interesting for a sequel, despite sometimes being a bit too convenient and not very satisfying when it comes to the ending. But like I said, I'm pretty sure with Deadpool 2, one little part or even a few little chunks of a movie will not ruin the whole experience. I've always said that, and Incredibles 2 is all in all practically a fantastic experience. Something to go watch in theaters and have a fantastic fine time for. Just go listen for the score if you're that much of a picky bastard. You're never going to complain about that. And Edna. They brought fucking Edna back. Are you ever going to complain about that? Oh yeah, and Jack's the most adorable thing ever. I need to get a plushie. I'm going to give Incredibles 2 an 8.5 out of 10. Damn great movie with, despite some letdowns throughout by the end of the story, it still manages to be fantastic with its character and its story. Oh, and its music and animation. Put that in because if I ignore any of that, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate, and I'm not doing that this time. That was Incredibles 2. It was so much fun talking for it. If I go any longer, I'm just going to go into ramble mode because I love Pixar so much that I honestly, like, If I could do a podcast one day, which I've always thought about, I literally can by accident make a 10-hour podcast. Like, I'm not joking. I hope you all enjoy these reviews, guys. I have more regular gaming videos, as you're usually up to expecting in my schedule, coming out soon. I have a lot of them in the works, and new reviews coming out. I know Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom just came out, that I've heard a lot of bad stuff about it. I'm still willing to give it a chance, because I fucking love Chris Pratt. There's no surprise about that. And just in general, a lot of great stuff coming out that I'm always going to be ready to check out. So wait for that. And I hope you all enjoy the video and have a great night, because I'm pretty sure, what time is it? Oh my god. It's 2:30 in the fucking morning. I need some sleep. Good night, guys.